So I am Tom Prince. I'm a professor of physics here at Caltech, and I'm the director of the Keck Institute for Space Studies. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Tolman Bacher house and how we use it today for our programs. Part of the time, the participants in our programs, which is about 24 people, use the conference center and the formal meeting room to sit and hear presentations and discussion by various people in the workshop. But the Tolman Bacher house is used quite differently. Here we were very insistent that it remain and have the feel of a home. And so here is the place where participants can gather in smaller groups, 2, 3, 4, a half dozen people, and discuss in a very informal living room setting or small meeting room setting some of the issues that they've heard about during the presentations in the workshop, and really start doing the creative brainstorming that only occurs in a very informal setting. So that's what the Tolman Bacher house is about. It's historically a very important house, and we want people to understand that history and be comfortable, very comfortable in a house where history has taken place and they are currently making history. So I'm sitting here in the Tolman Bacher house. The Tolman Bacher house is an integral part of the Keck Institute for Space Studies. It's a definite contrast to the much more modern meeting rooms that are right across the courtyard. But this house is really special for Caltech. It was a place where history was made at Caltech. It's also, though, a place where it was a home, and it was a place for very informal discussions about the current science issues of the day. And what we want to do with the Keck Institute for Space Studies is have the participants in our programs be aware of that history and know that they are part of the continuation of that history. So very much what we want the feel of the Tolman Bacher house is to be a home, to be a place that's very informal, where people have fun, where they enjoy themselves, but then they also talk about the cutting issues in space science. In this very room, right where I'm sitting, Oppenheimer used to meet in here. Einstein used to be here and discuss relatively with Tolman. And we want then the people that are part of the Keck Institute for Space Studies programs to know that when they come into the house, and also then be part of the continuation of that history. So part of the feeling that we wanted to have in the Tolman Bacher house is the feeling of a home. So we did not want video displays of some sort, modern digital displays, but rather we wanted pictures and picture frames like you might find in a home. Also, we wanted the books to reflect what it might have been like in the home back when Tolman Bacher were here. And for instance, what we have here is one of the textbooks of Tolman. It's Relativity, Thermodynamics, and Cosmology. There are then 3 other textbooks by Tolman. There's a book, The Forgotten Physicist, by Robert Bacher. And so really what we want people to do is come here. They'll be meeting to discuss space science, space technology, but then also in their free time just browse on the bookshelves and know that they are part of the continuation of the Caltech tradition of cutting-edge science and technology. So in addition to the scientific books that we have in the house, we also have some of the books that really were the Tolmans when they were in the house. So for instance, this book here, in the front it says Ruth Sherman, and that's Ruth Sherman. That was her book before she became Ruth Tolman. So very much what we wanted to have here is the feeling of this house as a home. These may have been books that were right on this bookshelf at the time that the Tolmans lived here. And again, we wanted the people to come into the room and feel immediately that they're part of the great history of Caltech. So this is the Tolman Bacher house, very much a part of the history of Caltech, and now a place where scientists and engineers from the Caltech campus, from JPL, and from the external community can come, they can relax, they can enjoy themselves, and they can have just great discussions about the space science and about the future of space exploration.